What's happening, everybody? Welcome back. This is Forgo, and today I'm going to go through the process of transcending cards. And the reason I'm making this video is because we have a new transcendent system where we can actually use what's called these lucky spinners. Now, these lucky spinners, guys, unfortunately are only through means of using your rubies, but we are going to be getting these things in later events, so that is something to keep in mind. So I wouldn't recommend you guys spending any rubies on these at all. I'm just doing it for this video, and I did get the transcendent material cards here. Now, these transcendent material cards we do get in the game currently already. Many of you already know this. You can actually get them through the power-up dungeon. If you go into power-up dungeon and you go into Lawless in the Jungle here, you can actually get them in here, which is actually really nice. That's actually very cool. You can also get them in the Guild Boss Challenge, and this is a big reason why people do actually play the Guild Boss Challenge, is because these boxes actually can give you the transcended cards, right? And these are really awesome to transcend your cards. Now, why would you want to transcend your cards? Well, you'd want to transcend them because you're trying to gain extra CP. Now, currently in the game, I think for veteran players, maybe moderate players, there's really no need to transcend cards except for pushing scores, but it might come in handy in the future. And if you're really trying to make the most of your character, you're trying to make them the strongest possible, then you definitely are going to want to do this. And also, a lot of these card sets that we have now will work on multiple different EX characters. And because of that, if you transcend a card, like say, for example, I'm going to be transcending a card for Leona today. She's an attack type fighter. Well, if I transcend attack type fighter cards, if I transcend cards for attack type fighters, then it's going to work on all EX attack type fighters, which is awesome. That really helped their CP. Excuse me, my nose itched there for a little bit. So let's jump in here, guys, and let's check it out. So I want to transcend Leona's cards. This is the best set for her, and this is actually from the banner, right? So let's check it out and see what we can do here. So when we hit transcend, I'm going to click off of this. You can actually select your material, right? And then whenever you click on this, you can see you have a 3% chance of getting the card that you want, right? Well, if you have lucky spinners, then you can see it goes up to 6%. This is really nice. And the other thing that's nice about this is you can click on this icon, guys, and you can actually choose what stat you want. Now, as far as the stats that you're going to want, depending on the type of character, if they're a balance, if they're a defense, if they're attack, that's really what you want to go for. So if you see, balance type, you're going to want a balance stat here. You're going to want, if you see attack type, like my Leona here, you're going to want attack type. If you see defense, then you're going to want a defensive stat, and so on. The other thing that you want to note is, does the character have dot or not? I can tell you guys, even aside from the dot, the best way to go, really, especially when it comes to CP or combat power in the game, especially even for damage, especially these days with these characters, is you really want to go for attack, critical rate, and critical damage. These are really the best ones. You guys can see that I increased the chance up on all of these. And if you have these lucky spinners, right, I got 20 of them from that little pack that I spent 3,500 rubies on. It jumps it from 3% to 6%. Now, let's see just how good this is. Let's see how good this is, because a big problem we always had with transcending cards is the fact that it would, take forever for us to get the stat that we actually want. So you can see increased balance type fighter bleed damage by 1%, which is, trash, right, for what we're doing here, all right? So let's go ahead. We got to level this thing up, all right? And you get all these materials also through the power-up dungeon, as I just shown you a second ago. Click on this, right here, and then we got to level up the card, right? And once you level up the card, you can transcend them again. So let's see what happens here. So we hit transcend, right? We got the stats we want. We're going to select our material. All right, there we go. Nice. So let's see what we get, right? We got that 6% chance, but so far, not so great, guys. Defense fighter, balance type fighter. So it's looking kind of crappy so far, and it doesn't look like it's really much better than what it was before. But, I mean, it is a much better chance, right? You do have a higher chance of getting the stat you want, but the thing that I don't like about it is that we still have to deal with a tremendous amount of RNG, and that is something that I just can't stand in any game. I really hate RNG. I realize that companies do this so they can make more money, right? Because if you're getting exactly what you want right off the get-go, then they're not going to make as much money, and that is exactly why they do this. But I do like that they limit it to 3 stats that you can actually try to get. And here we got critical rate. So that is awesome, right? And once you get the stat that you want, you can keep it. You can keep leveling up the skill. You can keep leveling up the card. So I'll just level up the skill and hands here, right? We'll go ahead and level this up. And then we'll level up the card itself. There we go. get it up to 45, and then I'll just show you what happens whenever you transcend again, right? You can always change the stats after you transcend a card. So we'll hit transcend, we'll select materials, right? We'll throw this card in there, and let's go. And what I should have done there, guys, is I shouldn't have used my lucky spinner because I just got the stat that I want, right? Once you get the stat that you want, you don't want to use your lucky spinners because those things are going to be very, very rare. So I just made a mistake. Learn from my mistakes, guys. Don't do that, okay? So here we have attack and critical rate, right? So, honestly, guys, like critical, I mean, this is a tough one, really. So they actually gave me attack or critical rate. Honestly, either way you go here, you're in really, really good shape. I'm going to go with attack, but maybe critical rate would have been a better choice. But let me show you how to properly do this, guys. So once you get the stat that you want, right, you'll level all this up. Okay. And then we'll level this up here. And once you get the stat that you want, don't use those lucky spinners, as I said a second ago. I kind of jumped the gun. That was a mistake. So what you want to do is you want to hit transcend and you want to remove those damn things. And then, you know, because it doesn't matter if it's down to 3% or not, because once you transcend again, right? Once you transcend it again, I mean, the idea of using lucky spinners is to increase your chances. You're going to keep the stat that you previously had, right? You're always going to keep having the stat that you previously selected. And as long as you select it again, as you're transcending your cards up, you don't have to worry about losing that stat. Okay, so that's very, very important. Whenever you're doing this. So let's transcend another card here and see what happens, guys. Let's transcend this baby. We're going to use our lucky spinners because we want to get the stat that we're looking for here. All right. You know, and I will say that, you know, anytime I've ever transcended cards, it can be a really, really rough process. This is insane. Attack for critical, attack TIE fighter increasing critical damage. So I got the stat that I want, guys. I got the stat that I want. I can remove the lucky spinners and just keep leveling up the card as I go. That is phenomenal. That is pretty phenomenal. I mean, that's some pretty awesome luck, right? So let's try it again. We'll transcend this one. Use our lucky spinner here. Try to get the stat that we want here, okay? Let's see what we're going to get. Okay, so we didn't get what we want, all right? So we're going to keep using the lucky spinners as we level up this until we get the stat that we want. And, you know, the lucky spinners will reduce the RNG for you. I mean, it's not going to completely alleviate it or get rid of it, but it will help. As you guys are seeing, it does seem like, you know, I am getting what I want a little bit easier than what we would have before. So let's try it again. All right. Let's do it. Let's do it. Attack TIE fighter poison damage. I mean, that's not worth a crap for Leona, but if you had an attack TIE fighter that had poison damage, maybe it'd be useful. But again, critical damage, critical rate, and attack really is going to be the kingdom come. I mean, if they start doing like explosion on these newer characters, right? Explosion with physical damage. Then if you're increasing your dot, I think that's going to make more of a difference. Even for Leona, who has an attack based off of her burn, I think that, I mean, I'm not really for sure, but I think having extra critical damage and critical rate would be better for a character like that. But I could be wrong, guys. It would take extensive testing for me to really find that out. So let's try this again. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And critical damage, guys, there's really no limit on it. So you can just keep going up and up and up. So right here we have penetration. Now, this is good. This is good. But it's not as good as, say, like critical damage. But I'm going to go ahead and keep it, right? If you only have so many lucky spinners, you don't want to keep doing this over and over and over, right? Once you get a stat that you're comfortable with, a stat that's going to increase your CP, your combat power, which again is attack, penetration, critical damage, and critical rate. But critical damage, critical rate, and attack really are the best in my opinion. Penetration is good, don't get me wrong, but I see more of a difference whenever I increase my critical damage, critical rate, especially on these characters these days, or attack. So pretty nice. So let's go ahead and transcend this card, right? Again, guys, once you get the stat that you want, you stop. You remove those lucky spinners, all right? I cannot stress that enough. You do not want to use the crap out of these things. Okay, so we got kind of screwed there. We didn't really get what we wanted. It was just kind of a bummer. All right, so let's increase it. And this is an insane card, especially for Leona. And that's why I'm transcending. You guys know she's my waifu, so I want to make her as strong as possible. Not that she really needs it, to be honest, guys. She really doesn't need to be stronger, but, you know. Yeah, it's my girl. I got to level her up. Let's see here. I mean, yeah. We're getting burned, guys. We're getting burned. No pun intended, right? You know, Leona does have burn, right? But yeah, not looking too great. I could look at that artwork though all freaking day, guys. I mean, it really doesn't get better than seeing Long and Leona on the front cover. It really doesn't get better than that. Well, I mean, maybe for some people it might get better, depending on the character that's put in there. Well, let's go. And, you know, what I have, I can't even remember. I think I had like 30 of these transcendent cards. I mean, these stats here, guys, are crap. These are crap. So we're getting pretty unlucky on this card here. But I only had 20 of those lucky spinners, right? 20 of those lucky spinners, and we've already leveled up 3 cards. We've already got transcendent stats on 3 of the cards, right? And this will be the 4th one here. Well, if we ever get the stat that we want. But I do like this change because it is a step in the right direction. I do like it. And here we go, Attack TIE Fighter critical rate. And I can select it and I can keep it, and we don't want to use our lucky spinners. So now I can move on and go to her other cards. Now, something to note about it leveling up 3 PGs is, depending on the build that you want, guys, it's going to be kind of a similar situation as it is with the transcend stats that you're actually looking for. You know, whenever you have critical damage and attack especially, that is going to jump up your CP. With our 3 PGs or with these cards, and if you say 3.0, it means 3 PG. With these cards, guys, you know, they're going to have an extra stat on them. You know, it's either going to be critical damage, it's either going to be attack, or increased active skill damage, right? So if you transcend cards that have critical damage or attack on them, that is going to be a lot better for your combat power. Not really necessarily damage per se, because increasing active skill damage by 4.5% is what you actually get from one of these cards is really, really good. But CP, man, is like, it's all about that critical damage and critical rate. And, you know, so I have 2 cards here. It's like, this here is active skill damage, right? And I have other cards that I could actually equip. Let me see what's on this card. This is critical damage. And then 2 critical damages will stack on top of each other. So really, it'd be better if I'm looking for CP, right, to give her the other critical damage card here. Take that off. Right, now I'll show you guys what I'm talking about here. You look at the stat details, you see my critical damage is at 263%, right? And then we'll throw on this, let me see if this is the right card here. Yeah, okay. And you see the CP go up by a pretty good margin, and you see the critical damage is up to 270%. So they do stack on top of each other, so that's something else, man. Whenever you transcend these 3 PGs, whenever you have critical damage or attack on them, it's going to increase your combat power a whole lot more. Honestly, I think it's a better way to go. So let's go ahead and transcend this baby and see what we can get. Honestly, it'd be pretty awesome to only have 20 of these lucky spinners and be able to get all the transcended stats that I want. Look at that, guys. Critical damage right off the get-go. So I can stop on this card and I can move on to the next. Now, keep in mind, guys, you know, these are only level 1, right? Level 5, level 1, level 3. I need to take these maxes completely out. But once you get the transcendent stat that you want, that's when you can actually stop and just level them up afterwards. So let's try it again. Okay. We need to level up this card first. There we go. Oh, she looks so lovely. She looks so lovely. Oh, we gotta level up the skill here. My bad. Okay. Get that all maxed out. And now we can transcend. Let's see. Okay, so that's crap. All right, so we're gonna level this one up. And this is how you really want to approach transcending cards, guys. One at a time. You know, once you get the stat that you want, move on to the next card. And then once you're finished with all your cards that you're trying to transcend and you get all the transcend stats that you want, then level them up. Okay? That way you can conserve on your materials a little bit. Well, not really. You're still going to use the same amount of materials. Okay, hit transcend. And nope, I mean, still crap, guys. Nothing here, nothing here. We don't want none of that. So let's jack this up again and see what we can get. Hopefully we can get something good. Hey, man, girl looks just so beautiful, doesn't she? All right. Okay. Transcend. Come on, give me. Give me that stat. Critical damage, man. That's what I really would love to see. Critical damage. Not good, not good, man, not good at all. Bummer. And it's going to be nice when these lucky spinners show up in future events so you guys can actually pick these things up, because again, I would not recommend buying these things. I would not recommend it. There's really nothing in the game that requires you to transcend your cards, guys. This is just something you do to really showboat, level up your characters, make them a whole lot stronger, right? Make your life a little bit easier in certain game modes. That's really the big reason why we do it at this point in the game. And I really do hope that changes in the future whenever we actually get some new content. So, I mean, boy, we're getting raped here. See, so this card here is being a bit of a butt, right? It's being a bit of a butt. We're not getting what we want at all. So we got to keep leveling up. And this is actually kind of good, so you guys can actually see this. If you're new to the game or new to transcending cards, this is actually a good thing to see, right? So we'll keep going until we get the stat that we want. All right, transcend. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Come on, man. Come on, give me that critical damage. Oh my God. Like these transcend stats that they're throwing out at us, guys, like decrease whatever, you know, a certain dot. It's junk. It's junk, guys. Characters these days don't need nothing like that at all. In fact, they never have needed that. I mean, it could be a useful thing, I guess, in PvP, but truthfully, it won't make a difference. So let's see here. Transcend. Boy, we're running low on our resources here. Oh my God, man. Oh my God. We're not getting crap. So this card is going to be completely maxed out. 6-star cards, guys, max out at level 7. All right, so now you're going to see what happens afterwards once a card is completely maxed out. Because some people were wondering with the new card system or the new Transcendent system, once you max out a card, you know, can you change up shop afterwards? And the answer is yes. You absolutely can change up shop afterwards. If you couldn't, that would be trash. That would be absolute blasphemy, my friends. We'll transcend, all right? The card's completely maxed out. And we can still keep going, guys. And you just want to keep going until you get that stat that we're looking for here. Oh my God, bounce TIE Fighter burn. I mean, if that was a attack TIE Fighter, maybe I would keep it. But because the card is already maxed out, we don't have to keep leveling up these other things. It's already maxed out. Now, I ran out of lucky spinners, so that kind of sucks. So I really don't want to do this anymore until I get some more lucky spinners, because that's what I recommend for all of you in the future is wait till you get lucky spinners before you do this, because you guys did see that there was a nice big uptake in the stats that I was getting. I mean, honestly, be able to get, what, 4 or 5 cards, you know, using 20 lucky spinners, getting 5 cards, getting the transcendent stats that I want, it's actually pretty insane. Because I can tell you guys, whenever I used to do this, it would take me, I mean, God almighty, just like, guys, sometimes I'd run through 50 cards, like 50 6-star cards, just trying to get one transcendent stat. And we didn't do nowhere near that using those lucky spinners. So it looks like it's a pretty positive thing, especially when the lucky spinners actually show up in the game. So guys, let me know what you think about the new lucky spinner system and how you're all doing in the game. And I do stream on Twitch at 9 p.m. GT+7 time. The link is in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See everybody. Take care.